Madam Beatrice, who is our representative at the national level. Dear teachers, colleagues, good afternoon. My name is Isaiah Sasaga. I'm a teacher professionally. Although at some stage I joined politics, but I've still remained in the teaching front end. I taught here in Mbale for silent schools, the director to Mbale Modo Primary Schools in Bukema, the director of St. Catherine Vocational, and some other institutions. I don't have much to say, but to thank the team. Because last time when Chubula was also in the same training with Madam Beatrice, and I see some colleagues here went for training. And also underwent the same training that you have done, and we can't actually finish it. We are much aware of the families. The time we got through the period was a bit, because in the big days that we crossed over the year, there's the financial implication. The schools are also in holidays. And the other unfortunate part that some of the courses were a bit scrapped off from the region here, but hope the number could have been much more bigger. But I congratulate the colleagues who have gone through this struggle of the training. Actually, I've added another skill. The schools where you are and the schools where you lead and teach, they'll never be the same. For us in Siroko, we tried, but eventually at some stage it helped us a lot. It helped us a lot. And when we were last time in Chivuli at the Nationals, after us finishing, the minister and the commissioner and the team were from there, the ministry, and they told us one of the criteria they will be using with effect this year. If you're not yet on payroll, assuming that you apply and you are like 200 teachers, and they want only 15 or 10 or 20 of those ones. The added advantage they are going to look at, you have an extra training in the area of games and sports. Because it is about education, games and sports. The education, all we have the same papers. What about the other part of the games and sports? That's what they will be looking at. And they say the head teachers who want teachers in those areas will be just marching to the ministry and they say, I want a teacher. The one you are going to post in my school must be a referee, maybe or an umpire in this area. Don't post anybody else because that's the manpower gap I have. I want a teacher with this added what? Training. Even the recruitment, you say much as you are recruiting. But for me, in my school, I have 2 gaps or 3 of them, but I would love to have a teacher who has a skill in this area of sports. So that one is very good, and that's really me, much as I'm in teaching, but I'm in parliament, but also looked at adding another skill. And the part that has also helped me, that in the parliamentary games, I always get an invitation. And say, please come and be part of us who are training, you can add us another value. So this is a very good training, and you don't give up because there are different levels. I know from this level, you go to another level, you go to another one. At the end of it all, it becomes a complete product in the area of the games and sports. But also, lastly, you identify the children. You might have a child you are teaching in your class, in the school. The child has a very good skill. The child is very talented. The child is in love with the games and the sports. But the unfortunate part, the parents don't afford to pay the fees. Or the school maybe doesn't have that open policy, maybe, of the scholarships and the bursaries in it. So again, you play a very vital role as you to ensure that you engage the teacher, you engage the department, and say for the love of the sports of the school, kindly let us factor in this child to get a bursary, even half bursary in this area. When you do so, you're also nurturing and developing the child and the skill in that child. I wish you the good training, and of course we are done, and the good pass out. I was supposed to be able to host a colleague in Parliament, and I was at the vigil at night. We lost the Honorable Cecilia Obama, and we were planning for the burial. I could have been with you, the instructors, from day one, but unfortunately I could not. But the assurance I can give you, because we are the organizers of the sports in the region. I'm the chair, she's a member, and the senior member heading the another department. We have the technical, another team here which is not here. For example, what we were able last time, that for this year, and I'm following on the team, we shall only recruit to be a coach, to be a referee, to be on the front bench of the game moving on there. School A versus School B, we shall not bring people from out. The teachers will manage their own. The teachers must manage their own games. So at some stage, we shall call upon you to help us as we start the games to come and you be the umpires, you be the referees, you be the technical people. We shall even put up the technical committees where we shall incorporate most of you to help us see the games in our districts, the games in the region, the games at national level. And if you are from Manafa Bududa, we can ask you to go and officiate in Surok to minimize bias. Yes. We shall pick you from there to go and officiate this side. We shall pick you from the city to go to Namisingo. Is that it? Yes. And we shall minimize bias in the area of games. And may God bless you.
But you had to make sure that you came around and to be part of us. Now, before the headmaster can talk, I want to invite the deputy in charge of
the head teacher, the instructors, our dear Honorable MP, and the participants. Good afternoon to you all.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Victoria Bagaya Lulava, and I'm the acting deputy in charge of co-curricular activities in Imbalances. As a school, we are very privileged to have hosted you for this week for your capacity building training. And I'm sure that the way you came in on Monday and the way you are today, you are quite an improved breed in either refereeing or in umpiring. We thank the trainers who have imparted a lot of knowledge and skills into you. And as you go back to your schools, we pray that you are a better person and you're not going to keep that knowledge to yourself. You're going to pass it on to others and also train people who can also support you in your various schools. I'd like to appreciate USSSA for having brought this training here. According to the regional coordinator, it is the first training of its kind, and I'm happy we're able to host it. And we pray that even more trainings come. As we have been promised that more trainings will be coming, and I hope we shall all be able to participate and continue to better our skills more and more. Thank you so much for moving away from your families. We had people who are boarding, and I'd like to appreciate the hostel management that were able to host the ladies in the girls' hostel and also the gentlemen in the boys' hostel. We thank you so much for those who are boarding, but even those who are day scholars, every day you have to leave your families and come and join the training. Thank you so much for the commitment, and may God continue blessing you. As we shall never get tired of hosting more such trainings. Please, when such trainings come, we have an open door and we are ready to host you again. I would like to appreciate everyone and our dear Member of Parliament. Thank you so much. At one time, I was one of his voters in Sironko there. Yes, I hope you remember Mr. Lulava. Yes, thank you so much for being committed to the sports fraternity, and we pray you continue supporting the association so that it can continue growing. I'd like to appreciate our dear head teacher, who is always committed to these trainings and committed to hosting us in Imbalances. And at this juncture, I'd like to take this opportunity to invite our dear head teacher to address you. Thank you.
From the two disciplines, give us some comment or appreciation of what has been going on.
Chief guest, who's as well our host, the team in front, dear participants, ladies and gentlemen. Vincent Achad is my name. I come from a district called Palisa district, in the sub-county called Boliso. When you get to Palisa, the best way you can access me is you only say Honorable Achadu Vincent. I was once a former district councillor for Boliso sub-county. I left that part of politics and joined government. I'm serving in Oloxid Secondary School. It's a small school which is growing in Palisa district. Well, I want to thank so much the host. It has been good, very good welcome. It's my second time to be here. The first time I remember it was May 2021, when I came to do interviews here. The second time I happened to be here for the training in umpiring. It has been so good to me as an individual, and I want to say that to my colleagues who have been participants, especially in netball umpiring, it has been so good. I want to thank so much our dear instructor, Mr. Neje Angel. Just acting like angel for real. Very social, very promising, very enjoying, and actually I've enjoyed the training within this short time. It is my prayer that as participants, we take it in good faith and go and put it in practice. As a member of Palisa district, in the umbrella of USSA, I am also the secretary district sports. And therefore, I have moved with a small team. And those from Palisa will stand up. And I moved with 3 of them, and one of which happens to be sports lover. The names of Yasin, Arikoy. And for Bukedi, may we stand up, because I come from Bukedi region. We are 5 in number, and of which, actually, as Bukedi, we still need to do a lot in building the capacity. It is my prayer to the USSA representatives at the top management that we could bring also the services closer to Bukedi as a region, so that we shall be able to host. It was even written, and I think that request is there in the office. Possibly within a due time we may organize. I want to thank so much once again our participation, that for good we have benefited. Let us go and panel beat ourselves and make emphasis in our various games and sports. I remain Vincent Achadu. Thank you very much. Thank you very much once again.
Yongeza tena.
At this juncture, I wish to welcome our chief guest, our dear head teacher, to address us. You're most welcome, sir.
Our distinguished instructors are very experienced. The regional coordinator, the school coordinator, my colleague, Madam Victoria here, and the press, and our dear participants. Good afternoon to you.
I protest the title of chief guest. I'm actually chief host. I feel a bit embarrassed when I'm called a chief guest in my own home, but that is okay for this function. I will accept it. Yeah, this is a very exciting moment for all of us who are involved in sports administration in this region. I've been in sports for some time, for some years now. I used to be the patron, the head teacher in charge of sports in Bali district some years ago. And I've also been a sportsman as a student and as a pupil. I remember very well, many years ago when I was studying in Kampala as a younger kid, we used to play football. But I keep thinking to myself, I said, I don't know where we picked this. I think we used to pick the skills from television, from UTV. For those of you who are not old enough to know UTV, we used to have one channel called UTV and it used to run from 6 to 11 p.m.
11 p.m.
And there was football made in Germany.
every Saturday.
That we used to watch, and that's where we picked the rudimentary skills we would go and display in the field. So now I think to myself, hey, what did happen to those teachers? Why couldn't these teachers give us some basic skills? You know, I remember at our school they would give us a ball. The teacher would get out, or the head teacher, and then throws a ball to about 500 kids. Then you run chasing the ball around the whole compound. That was football in the making now. So we are now at a different level. And I'm excited because I think this is the first time we are formally training ourselves. We've had a lot of challenges in football administration, as some of you may know. Conflicts, arguments, and so on and so forth. And I think majorly because of lack of professionalism. But I think we are now getting there. And like one of the instructors said, Mr. Will here, I think he gave us a very good introduction of where football is right now. We all know that probably footballers, I think, they're the highest paid people in the world. But they don't just come from nowhere. They are naturally from the little streets from wherever they come from. Most of them come from South America and a few from Europe and Africa, especially West Africa. I don't know what has happened to this region of Africa. Is it the talent or is it that we don't know? We've not been having people in administration. I think I like that course. I think the one that helps us to identify and be able to professionalize these younger people when they are still young and can be shaped, so that they can bring foreign exchange. Some of these countries, I think the foreign exchange they get from sports might be even higher than some exports. Okay. So in West Africa, you know, George Weah, because of his record in football, was even elected the president on that record. That shows you where sports, especially football, is going. When we first received the communication about this training last month, I think, last year, we thought we would organize this training during December, I think. It was regional organized, but we were unable to mobilize enough numbers. I think our communication, maybe there was a limited time to mobilize, but I'm now thinking that maybe on second thought, we need to pass this through ASHU structures. I think every school needs to train someone in one of these sports, because otherwise, how do you officiate these games at school level when you have no skills? That's how we create conflicts sometimes in the school, or we fail to nurture these young people because we ourselves, you cannot give what you don't have. How do you guide these younger people if you yourself don't have the skills? So this is a very important group. You are like a CD group, and we believe you are going to be ambassadors out there who will go and preach this gospel. Next time we organize this kind of event, I think we should have about 10 times this number, because we should have here participants as many as the schools we have in this region. Because what are the other schools doing? And we all know how important the curricula is in the schools if you're a teacher. Secondly, we all know that we belong to Ministry of Education and Sports. So there is all the reasons we need in this world for us to nurture these sports. So when we began last month, we couldn't master enough numbers, so it was postponed to January. But even then, even last weekend, I think, or last week, when we were talking to the regional coordinator, we were wondering whether we're going to get any people, if at all, because they told us by then, I think only about 20 people, or less than 20, had registered online, and we didn't know whether others would come to register from here, the ground. But I'm happy that at least we're able to get a reasonable number that can act as a city group. So I thank you all for sacrificing your time. Teacher Jolie, yeah, I want to recognize him. Teacher Jolie, I hear a lot of his voice on radio. I know he's a teacher. Actually, I was thinking about you when I was not seeing you here. You can sit down. I was saying now we have football. He's the one who is one of those who would benefit from this course because you can't comment it over what you can. Yeah. When you hear a lot of Arsenal and those discussions and what, you know that Teacher John is behind the microphone. So that shows you how much we need this information. And I'm glad to note that we can move to the next levels. And I want to encourage all of you to have that passion. Our national coach here, instructor rather, said, don't look at the money first. I think even Mr. Angel said so. And I agree entirely. Passion, money follows passion. If you look at the money first, then you will lose it. Those people in South America have a lot of passion for football. And in most cases, the money has followed their passion. The passion and talent, of course, mixed. Then eventually the money will follow. So let's not look at it like someone who gave the example that even when you are called to officiate in a match without any payment, I think you do it with a lot of pride because you are nurturing your own career as well. You can have a side hustle as a referee. Why not? You can go up to the international level. What stops you? Now FUFA has created for us the channels they have introduced. So let's take maximum advantage of it. Especially this group, the next training should make sure that you do what? You attend. I'm sure we shall have fewer conflicts. We had reduced them a great deal because of the discipline we had tried to instill among the students, but also sometimes we are lacking in terms of officiation. But now we have, I think, a stronger team. I was asking Mr. Muzale that do we have a record of these people somewhere? Are you going to remain with a record of this so that when we are organizing our zonal, actually school, intra-school, inter-school at zonal level, at district level, at state level, but also zonal level. We can, or regional level actually, we can be able to get from this talk of refereeing so that the quality of refereeing is higher and hence reduction of conflict and maybe disagreement and appeals because they say there was poor officiation. I want to apologize if there's anything that may not have gone right. We are sportsmen. I believe you will overlook that and look at what you have gone back home with. As you are aware, you were basically at the school, and sometimes our boarding credentials may not be to the level that you may expect. But I want to thank the instructors for also sacrificing their time to be here, in spite of the numbers. We had hoped that you would also have would have training in other disciplines and maybe other aspects of this. But from your explanation, I can now understand why we had to concentrate on only two for now. Maybe in the future, we can bring in other aspects and maybe other disciplines. So we, as Mbale says, we want to assure you that we have always been partners with the USSF and we shall not stop. We have taken the challenge of hosting football administration, but I also think that maybe I'm not so sure when you talk about administration, I don't know what is embodied in there, But I also think that we also need some coaching lessons, because we shouldn't be only good at refereeing. We should also be able to coach our students at school level, because where else will they get the skill if they don't get it from their teachers or other? I'm aware that there are a few people here who may not be teachers, but since mainly we are looking at these students in the schools, in fact, I had hoped that the teams around here would also take advantage of this training and come. I hope there are some members who belong to some local teams in this region, because they really need it. Because for them, they're doing it even at what level is that now? Is it professional or business level? These teams like Kataka and so on and so forth.
Same profession.
Yeah, they really need that. For them, they do it for a living, so they really need it more than maybe some of us. So we thank you, and please don't get tired of training us. And whenever you are required, keep guiding us, because we are not very well versed in this area. You need to guide us on the timing and how we need to organize that, who need to be there. But through our shoe structures, especially at regional level, we have at secondary level we have a Shumbale region, which has 17 districts of Bukedi, Bugisa, and Sebei. There are about 170 schools. If we mobilize those, I think especially, maybe it may be easier during the school time. But when they are at school, they are easier to mobilize, and the schools have some resources sometimes. But when we are away in holiday, I think that was part of the reason why the mobilization was not very excellent. But still, this is good enough. Actually, in my view, this is good enough. Because almost 50 participants, that is good enough. I expected that it would be much lower. So we thank you, the participants, for sacrificing your time. Please help to nurture talent in this country. The younger people we are teaching or bringing up are people who, for us, we grew up without this professionalism in football, where you know, we have talked to football men in Germany. We didn't know that those were people playing football maybe for money. We just enjoyed the game as a sport, as a recreation, for recreation. But now the young people know very well, even the younger kids now know how much a national player, the highest is paid, and so on and so forth. So they are yearning for this opportunity, maybe to also be future football professional footballers. Yeah. So it is incumbent upon us to help them grow. So thank you so much, and we shall support every endeavor. I know we have been here for 4 days, and they say that adult learners are also special needs learners. They need to be handled carefully, like kindergarten. When you're teaching kindergarten, you don't teach a lesson beyond 20 minutes, otherwise they switch off. So we thank you once again, and Honorable, thank you for making your time and having passion for this region and for football and sports, and also for the younger people. I didn't know that you had so many interests in many educational institutions, but that is excellent. I think you are different from many of your colleagues. I think you are among the few I've known who have interest in training younger people. That means you put a lot of your time and resources. So thank you. And I hope the people in your constituency recognize that, and they keep giving you Sanjas over and over, especially if you are here. Yeah. Yes. So members, this is as good as any. I want to take this opportunity now to officially close this training, and also to launch you to the sporting world, so that you bring us returns in terms of professionalism. Thank you. Back to Madam.
Thank you, head teacher. We are so grateful for those very innovative words, and we shall continue saying thank you for hosting us, and believe me, we are going to come back. We shall make sure that we lobby for more courses, and we come back here so that those people who have missed out can come and also be trained. Head teacher, you have got one duty to do for us. We have got the certificates which we are going to receive. So we are requesting that you hand off.
Yeah, but before that,